Yeah, hi, let's take a quick look at, well, it's not really a sales tip, it's just an idea to think about how you go about your selling life and how you think about the future of selling. Um, there's a phrase going around which actually I don't really like anymore. It's called Generation Y, Generation Z. Yeah, we're giving our younger generation these tags, Gen Y, Gen Z, Millennials. And I don't like it anymore now. I think it's getting a little bit too stereotyped. We're stereotyping the younger generation. So if you do a job interview and a young person comes in with their water bottle, you know, people start to stereotype them. They start to put sort of aspirations and aspects around them. Now, I like to call these, I just want to call these people young people. You know, it's a great phrase. They are young people. I love working with young people. They're full of energy, full of freshness. And let's just call them young people. Now, the reason about that is that kind of, it generalises, of course it does. But when it comes to selling, you could also say that these are now known as the modern buyer. The modern buyer. Whatever you're selling, be it B2C, business to consumer, or business to business, you'll be selling to modern buyers, who generally speaking are younger people, but not necessarily. I'll explain to you in a minute why that is the case. Now let's call them modern buyers. It's a whole lot easier as well. But you see, I have the same traits as a younger generation person when it comes to being a modern buyer. I mean, younger people are stereotyped, aren't they, for being good with IT, time poor, expecting instant gratification. They like to use their smartphone, very good with tech. You know, these sort of traits given to the younger generation. Now, for me, I'm a late baby boomer Gen X. I actually like using my phone. I do. I'm pretty good with computers and IT, have been since the sort of late 80s. You know, I like to keep up to speed with what's going on with technology and stuff like that. I have a low attention span. I like instant gratification. I don't like to, you know, buy things from shops. I like to buy them online and download them if I can do as well. I don't like salespeople. I prefer to buy things online myself. I like to be in control of the sale. And that's the traits that I have as a baby boomer. Now, I'm known as a modern buyer as well. I mean, I can get around Google just as well as a 20-year-old. You know, I've learned to search really well, and you can learn to do that. I mean, I'm not beholden to the like button on Facebook or Instagram. I don't do Facebook anymore. I use LinkedIn and stuff like that. And I can get off the grid when I want to. It doesn't give me the nervous shakes, you know. So I've got negatives and positives about being this. But the point I'm making there is we're now focusing on what we call the modern buyer. The modern buyer does have traits of Gen Ys. Call them young people, it's a much better word for it. But the modern buyer can also be Gen X's. It could also be late generation baby boomers who want it to be. So focus on the modern buyer, their needs, their requirements. Remember the big one there about salespeople. We don't like salespeople. I don't like salespeople. I teach people to sell. I don't like salespeople. Odd that, isn't it? So if you are in sales, come across more as consultative, come across as more as involving, help the customer to buy, don't sell them, help them to buy. It's very, very different concepts, doing the rounds now, of course it is. Advise them, give them information, help them to make their decisions. Don't push them, don't sell, don't use old 1990s techniques anymore. If you're getting sales training, make sure it's up to date. So much of it's so much out of date. I was reading this sales literature the other day about overcoming objections. I mean, come on, we don't overcome objections anymore. That sounds like sort of abrasive and aggressive, doesn't it? The world's moved on. So think about modern buyers and how they like to buy. Hope that's been useful. Just a little tip there for you. Bye.